In a small town called Maplewood, there lived a curious girl named Mia. She always looked up at the stars and wondered if they held secrets. Mia was 12 years old, with bright blue eyes and a wild mop of curly hair. She spent her evenings in her treehouse, where she created her own constellations on paper. Her best friend, Jake, often joined her. He was adventurous and loved exploring new ideas, especially when they involved space. One night, while stargazing from the treehouse, Mia spotted something unusual. A bright light zipped across the sky, twisting and turning in ways that no plane could. "Did you see that, Jake?" she asked, her eyes wide with excitement. "Yeah. That was awesome." "What was it?" Jake replied, equally amazed. Mia's heart raced with curiosity. "Do you think it was a UFO? Maybe it was aliens." Jake laughed. "You think so? Come on, that sounds crazy." But Mia couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary had happened. The next day at school, she shared her story with her classmates, but most dismissed her. However, an older boy named Alex, known for his interest in science, approached her. "Hey, Mia, I heard what you said." "Maybe it wasn't just a shooting star," Alex said. "Have you heard about the rumors that NASA has been hiding information about aliens?" Mia's eyes sparkled with intrigue. "What rumors?" Alex leaned in, lowering his voice. "Some people say NASA contacted aliens years ago but has kept it secret. They think the truth is hidden in a book called The Galactic Files." Mia nodded, captivated. "We should search for it." That evening, Mia, Jake, and Alex met in the treehouse. They created a plan. "We need to dig deeper," Mia said, holding up her flashlight as if it were a magic tool. "Let's read everything we can about NASA and aliens." The next few weeks turned into an adventure. They dug through old newspapers, watched documentaries, and searched the internet. Jake found a hidden forum online where conspiracy theorists discussed everything about alien sightings and government cover UPS. The three friends spent hours discussing the possibilities. One day, while searching through an old library archive, they stumbled upon a dusty book titled The Galactic Files. Their hearts raced as they opened it. The pages were filled with drawings of strange creatures, spacecraft designs, and maps of distant planets. However, most of the text was blacked out. Only a few lines remained visible, hinting at contact between Earth and alien species. "Look at this." Alex pointed to a drawing of a craft. "This looks a lot like what you saw, Mia." Excitement surged through them. They knew they had to find out more. Remembering a name they had found in the book, Mia said, "There's a scientist mentioned here, Dr. Evelyn Carter. She worked for NASA years ago. Maybe she can help us." After some research, they discovered that Dr. Carter lived in a nearby town. Without wasting any time, the friends decided to visit her. On Saturday, they hopped on their bikes and made their way to her house. When they arrived, they found a small, cozy home with overgrown plants and a rusty mailbox. They knocked on the door, and after a moment, an elderly woman with silver hair opened it. She looked surprised to see the three children. "Hello, kids. What can I do for you?" Dr. Carter asked, her voice warm and inviting. Mia stepped forward, her heart pounding. "We found a book called The Galactic Files, and we read about you. We want to learn about aliens and what NASA was hiding." Dr. Carter studied them for a moment and then sighed. "Come on in. I suppose it's time to share the truth with curious minds like yours." Inside, the walls were lined with books and photos of spaceships. They sat around a small table as Dr. Carter began to explain. "Yes, I was part of a project many years ago. We did make contact with intelligent life from another planet. They were peaceful. We shared knowledge, but it became clear that revealing this would cause panic on Earth. Mia's eyes were wide with wonder. What do they look like? What did you learn from them? Dr. Carter smiled. They looked very different from us. Tall and slender, with large eyes. They taught us about their technology, how to communicate across galaxies, and even a bit about their lifestyle. But the world wasn't ready to hear about it. Jake furrowed his brow. So NASA just hid everything? Not exactly. We wanted to ensure that the information wouldn't cause chaos. Instead, we turned the knowledge into technology that we could use safely. The advancements you see today in space travel have roots in that communication, she explained. Mia felt a mix of awe and disappointment. So, we still don't really know about them? Not yet, Dr. Carter said. But there are plans to re-establish contact in the future. Humanity needs to be better prepared. As they continued talking, the room filled with ideas and dreams. They all wanted to help. Could we do something? Mia asked eagerly. Could we help prepare people for the truth about aliens? Dr. Carter thought for a moment. You three could work on raising awareness, sharing what you learn about space. You never know how many others will join you. The friends exchanged excited glances, filled with determination. They spent the next few months educating others, creating presentations, and even organizing stargazing nights in Maplewood. The community began to listen, slowly warming up to the idea of life beyond Earth. One night, as they stood together outside the treehouse looking up at the stars, Mia felt a sense of purpose. One day, we'll know everything. We just have to keep believing. Yes, Jake agreed, and who knows? Maybe one of those lights in the sky is a spaceship heading our way. As they laughed and shared their hopes, the stars twinkled brightly above, as if winking back at them. They knew the truth about alien contact was just the beginning of their adventure. And who knows? Maybe one day, with all their efforts, the rest of the world would know it too. The old, dusty box sat in the corner of Dr. Eris Thorne's cluttered office. He'd spent his life studying the stars, a life dedicated to NASA, and this box held the secret that gnawed at him, a secret buried for decades. Inside were the recovered logs from the Ares 6 mission, a mission officially declared lost to a solar flare. But Eris knew the truth. The year was 2077. Ares 6, crewed by Captain Eva Rostova, Dr. Gianli, and Lieutenant Benicio Benny Rodriguez, was on a routine asteroid mining mission near Jupiter. Their mission log, however, detailed something far beyond mining. The log started normally, detailing the crew's activities, asteroid composition, and the usual banter between the three astronauts. But then, a change. A sudden, dramatic shift in tone. Eva's voice, shaky but determined, described a shimmering object appearing near their ship. It wasn't an asteroid, it was unlike anything they'd ever seen. It pulsed with an ethereal light, a silent, hypnotic beauty that filled the ship's monitors. Gian, the mission's geologist, started taking readings, his voice a mixture of awe and disbelief. Benny, always the pragmatic one, tried to maintain order, suggesting possible explanations, a new type of celestial phenomenon, a previously undiscovered energy source. But the object remained, silent and enigmatic, growing larger with each passing moment. The next entry was written by Gian, his words rushed and frantic. The object had grown closer. They were able to see intricate details, a complex, almost organic structure, unlike anything human technology could create. Then came a communication, not a radio signal, but a direct transfer of thoughts, a flood of images and emotions that overwhelmed the crew. The log described landscapes beyond imagination, civilizations that stretched across galaxies, and knowledge so vast it dwarfed human understanding. Eva's final entry was a simple message: they want to understand us. Then, silence. Communication ceased. Ares 6 went dark. NASA, facing a public relations nightmare, announced the mission was lost in a solar flare. The truth, the communication with an alien civilization, was buried, a dangerous secret guarded by a select few. Eris was one of them. He'd spent years fighting to keep the truth hidden, fearing the chaos that would engulf humanity if they knew about the aliens. He had seen firsthand the power of their technology, the depth of their understanding, and he knew that humanity was not ready for such a revelation. But the weight of the secret was crushing him. He was growing old, and the fear of the truth being lost forever was becoming unbearable. Enter Sarah Chen, a young, ambitious astrophysicist who had always suspected something was wrong with the Ares 6 mission. She'd been quietly researching the incident for years, digging through declassified documents, chasing rumors, and piecing together the fragmented truth. Her path eventually led her to Eris Thorne. Sarah was persistent, her relentless investigation drawing Eris out of his self-imposed isolation. He was hesitant at first, but Sarah's genuine curiosity and her promise to use the information responsibly persuaded him. He showed her the box, the recovered logs, the evidence of contact. Sarah was stunned, her initial excitement slowly giving way to a deep sense of responsibility. Together, Eris and Sarah painstakingly deciphered the alien communication, translating the images and emotions into something humans could comprehend. They learned about the alien civilization's history, their philosophy, their technology, their anxieties about the future of the galaxy. They were a peaceful race, concerned about the potential for conflict among different civilizations, and their message to humanity was one of cautious hope and a plea for understanding. As they delved deeper into the alien communication, they discovered a pattern, a complex mathematical sequence that seemed to hold the key to unlocking a revolutionary new energy source, a clean and limitless power that could solve Earth's energy crisis. This, they realized, was the ultimate reason for the aliens' contact, a gift, an offering to humanity, a chance for a brighter future. The decision weighed heavily on them, whether to reveal this monumental discovery to the world. The risk of chaos and fear was immense, but the potential benefits, the chance for global cooperation and a sustainable future, were even greater. Eris, haunted by years of secrecy, was finally ready to take the risk. Sarah, with her youthful energy and unwavering belief in humanity's potential, stood by his side. They decided to create a carefully orchestrated disclosure, working within the existing NASA infrastructure. They meticulously prepared a presentation, combining scientific evidence with the translated messages from the aliens, creating a narrative that would both fascinate and reassure the public. The world, they knew, needed time to process this monumental revelation. The press conference was a landmark event. The world held its breath as Eris and Sarah presented their findings. The initial shock gave way to awe and then to hope. The aliens, it turned out, were not the monsters of science fiction, but a benevolent civilization offering a hand of friendship. Humanity had taken its first step into a greater cosmic community. The fear subsided, replaced by a sense of wonder and the shared ambition to build a better future, not just for Earth, but for the whole galaxy. The secret was out, and the future, once shrouded in uncertainty, now shone with a new, bright light. The Ares 6 mission was no longer a mystery, but the beginning of a new era. In the small town of Willow Creek, strange things began to happen. It all started one chilly autumn evening when Mika, a curious 13-year-old girl, was walking home from school. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink as the sun began to set. Mika loved to gaze up at the sky, dreaming of the stars she would see at night. Little did she know, this particular sunset would change her life forever. As she walked past the old Miller farm, Mika noticed something shiny glinting in the field. She paused, feeling a mixture of curiosity and caution. With her heart pounding with excitement, she stepped into the field, her sneakers crunching on the dry grass. Approaching the shiny object, Mika realized it was a metal piece, smooth and oddly shaped, like nothing she had ever seen before. Before she could examine it further, a loud hum filled the air, echoing around her. Startled, Mika jumped back. Suddenly, the shiny object began to glow brighter. She could hardly believe her eyes when a soft blue light surrounded her, and a door opened beside it, revealing a small metallic spaceship. Mika's breath caught in her throat. She was not alone. A figure emerged from the ship. It was unlike anything from Earth, with shimmering skin that reflected the colors of the sky. The creature stood tall and was slender, with large, sparkling eyes that seemed to look right through her. "Hello, Earthchild," it said in a harmonious voice. Her mind raced. Was she dreaming? Or had she finally gone crazy? "Who are you?" Mika stammered, her voice a mix of disbelief and awe. "I am called Zephyr," the creature replied. "I come from a distant star, seeking friendship and knowledge. We have watched your world for a long time." Mika felt a spark of excitement, her fear melting away. "Why now? Why here? Change is coming to your planet. We sensed a strong energy from this place. We must share knowledge before it is too late," Zephyr explained, glancing around as if worried someone might overhear. Just then, a voice jolted her from her thoughts. "Mika! Where are you?" It was her best friend, Jason, a practical boy with a love for science fiction stories. He had been searching for her. Mika froze. If Jason saw the alien, would he believe her? She quickly stepped toward the spaceship. "Jason, come here, you have to see this." Jason approached cautiously, his eyes growing wide. As he laid eyes on Zephyr, he almost stumbled back. "Whoa! This is unreal." Zephyr smiled softly. "Do not fear. I bring peace and knowledge, not harm." Mika and Jason shared a glance filled with excitement and wonder. "You can understand us?" Jason asked. "Yes, my kind is skilled in communication. We translate thoughts and ideas," Zephyr replied, gesturing for them to come closer. The three of them gathered around the shimmering ship. Zephyr shared stories of its home planet, a vibrant place with plants that sang and mountains that floated. Mika and Jason listened eagerly, their imaginations igniting with every word. But within moments, Mika sensed a change in the atmosphere. Zephyr's expression turned serious. "There is danger. Not everyone wishes for peace. Those who dominate your world covet the knowledge we possess." "What do you mean?" Mika asked, her heart racing. "A group of your people has their eyes set on the stars. They wish to harness our technology for control, not for knowledge. This will lead to destruction," Zephyr warned. Mika's mind whirled with thoughts of the adults in her town, how they were always fighting for more power and wealth. "What can we do to stop them?" she whispered, feeling the weight of the responsibility on her young shoulders. "Young minds like yours hold the key," Zephyr explained. "You must share this knowledge with others, to help them see the importance of cooperation and peace. Gather a group of friends and tell them the truth." Mika and Jason nodded, filled with determination. They knew they would have to act fast. Just as Zephyr began explaining how, a loud noise shattered the air. A black helicopter hovered above the field, its spotlight glaring down on them. "They are here, searching for me," Zephyr said urgently. "Your people must understand that not all is lost, but time is running out. Follow your heart, Mika." With that, Zephyr stepped back into the spaceship, which began to glow brighter once again. With a whoosh, the craft lifted off the ground and disappeared into the sky, leaving Mika and Jason in stunned silence. "We have to warn everyone," Jason said, breaking the silence. "But who will believe us?" Mika thought hard. "What if we gather our friends Lily, Ben, and Sarah? We can show them the metal piece. Then we can tell them the stories Zephyr shared." Jason agreed, and they rushed to gather their friends. That evening, they met by the old treehouse, their childhood headquarters. Mika held the glowing metal piece confidently in her hands as she told them everything. The group was skeptical at first, but soon the excitement in Mika's voice began to persuade them. If we work together, we can spread the truth. We can hold a meeting at the community center. Mika exclaimed. Over the next few weeks, the group met regularly, planning and preparing for the big event to share their knowledge. They wrote posters, created speeches, and even practiced how to talk to the adults. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but their determination fueled their courage. On the night of the meeting, the community center was buzzing with people. Adults from all over Willow Creek gathered, chatting eagerly about the children's unusual stories. Mika stood with Jason, Lily, Ben, and Sarah at the front of the room, their hearts pounding. With a deep breath, Mika stepped forward. "Thank you all for being here. We have something important to share," she began. She told them about Zephyr, the warnings of danger, and the importance of unity over greed. At first, the adults were hesitant, whispering and exchanging doubtful glances. But as Mika spoke passionately about the beauty of friendship, knowledge, and peace, something shifted in the atmosphere. Curiosity began to replace skepticism. Just then, the lights flickered, and the sound of a helicopter echoed outside. "They have come again," one adult shouted, fear entering his voice. But Mika stood strong. "We must not let fear control us. Believe in a future that brings us all together." In that moment, a deep hum resonated outside the community center, and in disbelief, everyone rushed out to see Zephyr's spaceship landing gently in the parking lot. Zephyr stepped out, the crowd gasping in shock and wonder. "I return to offer friendship," it pronounced. "Together, we can change the path of destruction." The people stared, awestruck, and Mika turned to her friends, their eyes shining brightly. They had set out to share the truth, and now, it was unfolding before their very eyes. That night, the town of Willow Creek transformed. Conversations changed from fear and suspicion to understanding and unity. Grown ups began to listen to the hopes and ideas of children, as beings from the stars had opened their eyes to a new world of possibility. As weeks went by, Mika, Jason, and their friends became leaders in their community, inspiring a movement for peace. The truth about alien contact shifted their lives, opening the path to a future they could only dream of before. Together, they had found their place among the stars, and no one would ever see the world the same way again. The year is 2077. Dr. Eris Thorne, a renowned astrophysicist, stared intensely at the swirling nebula on his monitor. For years, he'd dismissed the whispers, the blurry photos, the conspiracy theories about alien contact. But the data before him was undeniable. A signal, repeating, originating from a star system light years away. A signal that responded to their transmissions. Eris shared his findings with his team, Dr. Lena Hansen, a brilliant linguist, and Jax, a seasoned astronaut with a reputation for calculated risk-taking. Lena, skeptical at first, was soon captivated by the signal's complex patterns. Jax, ever practical, focused on the logistics of a response mission. Their initial contact was tentative. A series of simple signals, mathematical equations, images of basic shapes. Lena painstakingly deciphered the alien language, a beautiful and surprisingly elegant system based on prime numbers. The aliens, whom they dubbed the Vashta, identified themselves as peaceful explorers. Months turned into years. The Vashta's messages grew more complex, revealing details about their civilization, their technology, and their history. They were a species far older than humanity, possessing a deep understanding of the universe and a profound respect for life. They shared knowledge freely, technological advancements that threatened to reshape human civilization. Energy sources that were clean and limitless, medical treatments that could cure any disease, technologies that pushed the boundaries of space travel. This knowledge, however, was not received without apprehension. General Maddox, head of Earth's Global Defense Force, feared the potential for exploitation. He saw the Vashta's advanced technology as a threat, a potential invasion masked in friendly communication. He was a man of action, convinced of a hidden agenda, even if his accusations lacked evidence. He rallied a contingent of politicians and military leaders, fueling the anxieties of those who feared change. The tension mounted. The public was divided. Some hailed the Vashta as saviors, others feared them as invaders. Whispers of a potential war echoed through the global community. Eris, Lena, and Jax found themselves at the center of a storm, struggling to maintain communication with the Vashta while navigating the political turmoil on Earth. One day, a new signal arrived. It wasn't a friendly greeting or a technological blueprint. It was a warning. A massive celestial event, a collision of two galaxies, was headed towards Earth. This was not a threat from the Vashta but an unavoidable cosmic event. The consequences would be catastrophic. The warning was unequivocal and horrifyingly clear. The Vashta revealed the exact trajectory, the timing, and the possible impact. This revelation silenced the skeptics and the naysayers. The threat was no longer theoretical. It was undeniable, a cosmic catastrophe that transcended national borders, ideological differences, and political squabbles. They had to act, and act quickly. General Maddox, initially consumed by fear and suspicion, was humbled by the scale of the impending doom. The gravity of the situation eclipsed his initial biases. He was forced to admit his previous assumptions were short-sighted, fueled by fear and misunderstanding. The global community, united by a common threat, abandoned their differences. Scientists, engineers, and military personnel worked around the clock. With the Vashta's technological assistance, plans were drawn up to prevent the total destruction of Earth. It was a race against time, a testament to the collaborative spirit that could rise from the ashes of fear and misunderstanding. The Vashta shared their technology, their expertise, their knowledge of celestial mechanics. They guided the construction of massive shields and diversionary devices, projects that would have been unimaginable without their help. This was not a conquest or an invasion, but a desperate alliance forged in the face of a cosmic calamity. The day of the galactic collision arrived. The skies blazed with light, and the Earth trembled. The magnitude of the event was beyond anything previously imagined, but the defensive systems, built with the help of the Vashta's technology, held. The Earth was spared total destruction, though scarred and changed. In the aftermath, humanity looked to the stars with a new perspective. The fear and suspicion gave way to gratitude and awe. The Vashta, far from being enemies, had become saviors, not through conquest or domination, but through shared knowledge and selfless collaboration. The truth about alien contact was not one of invasion but of unexpected alliance, of cooperation in the face of cosmic peril. The contact proved that even in the vastness of space, understanding and collaboration could overcome fear and misunderstanding. It was a lesson learned in the face of universal destruction, a testament to humanity's resilience and the power of unity. The story of the Vashta served as a reminder, a symbol of hope and a testament to the unexpected alliances that could blossom even among the stars. The whispers that once circulated as conspiracy theories became a shared history, a story of survival, a story of the stars themselves.